You read that title correctly. Salty Tua? He's the best Tua. What is up, Finn fans? Normally during the season around Thursday, I kind of take a break. I take Thursdays and Saturdays to kind of just breathe, because on Sundays you get like 3 videos, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you get a lot of content. So I kind of take Thursday and Saturday to breathe. But yesterday, there was a few things that were talked about that came out that I want to talk about because I think they are incredibly interesting. We're going to hear from, I'm going to talk about Mike McDaniel, and then we're going to talk about Tua Tagovailoa. And I have the clip because people think that Tua is getting cocky, and people think that Tua, I've seen things on Twitter like, you never hear Peyton Manning and Tom Brady boast about Papa. And I'm just going to say, the stupidity of some people is just comical to an umph degree. So we're going to look at all that stuff, but before we do, I have to shout out today's sponsor. And you know about this sponsor. I love the sponsor. I love the man, the myth, the legend. That is Sean Seipler. Clean the World. I'm actually wearing one of their shirts. Wash your hands, bro. Love this shirt. Check them out. CleanTheWorld.org. I talk about them constantly, what they do. I show you the kits. I love, and a lot of, you see sponsorships that I got going on with like Mojo. You've seen I had a sponsorship with Better Health. You see that I'm getting sponsorships, but I only work with sponsorships that I either use or I can back. And like Better Health and Clean the World, those are 2 things that are very important to me. Better Health, obviously, I deal with anxiety, so that's one thing. And Clean the World, I'm very into helping people, the environment, all that stuff. And that's what Clean the World does. They repurpose soap, and they help people in need, third world countries. They helped Hawaii, sending 15,000 kits. Natural disasters, the homeless. Check them out, cleantheworld.org. And Sean, thank you so much for sponsoring this video. So now we're going to jump into this. I'm going to jump right in. I'm not going to beat around the bush. I'm not going to, make you guys wait forever. We're going to jump right into this, and we're going to play it.
Do you think that anyone is still saying you can't throw deep?
I don't care. I don't care. 466 is, that's what 466 is if I can't throw deep. Thanks.
One more time. Do
you think that anyone is still saying you can't throw deep?
I don't care.
Good. Made a point. All these people, he can't throw deep. He doesn't have an NFL arm. Blah, blah, blah. I saw that man evade pressure, step up in the pocket, and hop in the air and throw the ball 52 yards, 50-something yards to Tyreek Hill in stride. I seen him run to his left, get his face mask pulled, and still throw a dart to Braxton Berrios. It all entails arm strength. Am I saying he has Josh Allen level arm strength? No. But if you seriously are going to come in here and tell me he doesn't have an NFL level arm, there's no more. It's just I don't have the time anymore to waste with people who don't know football. Yeah, I'm saying it. You don't know football. Plain and simple. Watch the game. Watch the film. Do it yourself. There you go. Salty Tua. One more time. What do you got to say?
Do you think that anyone is still saying you can't throw deep?
I don't care. I don't care. 466 is, that's what 466 is if I can't throw deep. Thanks.
Now let's jump into some of the things that he said. So, Barry Jackson came out with the article. We're going to talk about 2 of them. Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa, and again, it's pronounced Tagovailoa, has attention of NFL world. Yeah, after the Miami Dolphins in general, after Sunday's game, has an attention of the NFL world. And it makes me very nervous because I'd rather be that under the radar type of team. Like a lot of people thought going into last week, they don't have Terron Armstead. They figured out how to stop Tua. Staley already gave him a hard time, and they know how to stop Mike McDaniel's RPO. And they're not going to do well against Bosa and against Khalil Mack and this and that. And the Dolphins came out and torched them. So I'd rather be under the radar. Hey, we suck. We're going to lose on Sunday to the Patriots. No one have any confidence in us. Dolphins quarterback Tua is the talk of the NFL after a season opening performance in which he threw for 466 yards, second most in his career, obviously the other one against the Ravens. On Wednesday, the NFL announced Tua won AFC Offensive Player of the Week, obviously, for the second time in his career. And with the standout outing, that's a hard one, which includes throwing a game-winning score to wide receiver Tyreek Hill. He dropped that sucker right in the bucket. Tua not only was recognized by the league, but by some of the by his most valuable player odds increasing significantly. You know what I love about Tua? All that stuff he doesn't even listen to. Which good. Who cares? It's week 1. Don't go listening to your odds of becoming, MVP, yada yada. I'm not even going to read it. We're going to move on. On Sunday, the Dolphins will face the New England Patriots on the road, and the Sunday Night Football backdrop gives Tua an opportunity to build on his 2023 debut in front of a national televised audience. This is what Tua had to say after practice yesterday. It was a good team win. That's how I look at it. That's how I always look at it. Without the guys up front blocking, without the guys outside catching, without our run game going, none of that for me was possible. And without the defense getting the stop against a good offense, I don't think we'd all be here talking about a win we had and the accomplishments that everyone on the other side of the ball had. 100,000,000%. Everyone wants to put wins and losses on the quarterback. Well, we lost against Buffalo. In Buffalo, that's because of Tua. It is a team win and loss. We lost in Tennessee last year, and that's all because of Tua. That team was not prepared. His rookie year, we lost in Buffalo, and that's all because of Tua. Oh, yeah, that had nothing to do with the defense giving up 3 touchdowns in 5 minutes. See what I'm saying? It's a team sport. As much as he could sit back and be like, I was just throwing that rock and blah, blah, blah. He was like, no, man, this is a team sport. In producing one of the best performances in the NFL opening week, Tua not only put an end to a question about Chargers' game plan that befuddled the Dolphins offense last year, but established himself as an early favorite for a league's top individual award. Again, I don't want to talk about it. When you start the season, it's week 1. Everyone overreacts on everything. My personal opinion, take that for what it's worth. You're either going to win the Super Bowl or you're going to win your first game, or you're the worst team ever, and everyone that comes with that. So I would say for myself, that's one of the reasons I don't pay much attention to the outside noise. We still got to go on the road and win 16 more games to play against 16 really good teams, and it starts with New England this week, and that's our main focus. I love that. Just blinders on, and he's just focused on the next thing. They got a lot of good things, and it starts with their front two. We're talking about the Patriots defense. Their front seven how they're able to maneuver where guys are, their exchange in personnel, making things look the same in that sense. Coach Belichick has been coaching in the league for way longer than I think I've been alive, so he knows exactly what he's looking at when he's coaching his guys. Nothing new under the sun for that guy. So we've got to come. We've got to be prepared. We understand that's a physical team. They're going to make us earn everything we good. But Tua's not the type of guy who his head's going to start getting big and think like, oh, this, and that. It's no shock to us, Raheem Mostert says, but at the same time, he's really taking the step forward, and you could tell by his confidence he has. From what I'm hearing from a lot of people, and especially like analysts and people watching the game and experts and stuff that know 1,000 times more than me, they're noticing how quick he is now, and how the fact that he's in the second year of this offense, he's much quicker at his decisions. He's much quicker at reading the defense. He's much quicker at diagnosing things. He's quick. So he's going to make these decisions quicker. Now, again, there were some times last week where his decision was off, right? The one to, I think it was Durham Smythe, he kind of threw into triple coverage. The one to Tyreek Hill, he kind of threw it behind him. I think he threw into triple coverage like 2 or 3 times, but 2 of those passes, they were just thrown late. So, but again, 95% of the time he was on. It was just ridiculous. So we're seeing a growth from him, but for, us guys who think and know he can do it on the field, and it's just a matter of, can he stay healthy, which again, we hate hearing, we hate saying, but it is a thing that needs to prove wrong. This is nothing new. Just got to keep doing it. You got chain them together, and then people will start shutting up. And I honestly think so. I think he starts chaining them together because they're going to be facing some good defenses. You got New England, you got Denver, you got Buffalo, and then the Giants. I'm being at that game. I can't wait. I literally, in 3 weeks, I'm heading down, baby. But yeah. So now we're going to talk a little bit about what Mike McDaniel had to say, because he said some interesting things. Now, Teron Armstead practiced, and Waddle was limited, and Raheem Mostert didn't practice. And now I had a little bit of when I heard Raheem Mostert didn't practice, but then I heard from Cameron Wolfe that, not personally, but he reported it was just a vet rest day. So we all can take a sigh of relief. Mike McDaniel said we'll see a little of Armstead today, see how that goes, and then assess that. The foremost priority is guys coming back without having setbacks. With Kendall Lamb doing as well as he did against Khalil Mack, they're necessary, and I'm pretty sure the Dolphins feel this is the same, there necessarily isn't a need to rush Teron Armstead back. Now, when Teron Armstead comes back, then all of a sudden the thought process is, what happens with Kendall Lamb? Does he get shift? And, La'el Collins got cut. I would go snatch him up and have depth, because you never can have enough depth on the offensive line. A style play just to get through is not fair to him or his teammates, McDaniel said. If there was a scenario where he was the only human being possible to play, maybe we'd consider that, but probably not. You don't want him to gut through it and have a setback. Again, don't force him out there if he doesn't need to be out there. I'd prefer him to miss 2-3 weeks and then us have him for 14 straight weeks and plus into the playoffs, versus force him back there, have him for 3 or 4 weeks, and then all of a sudden we lose him for the rest of the season. Meanwhile, safety Elijah Campbell, working on his way back from preseason knee injury, is participating in individual drills. On third-round rookie running back Devon Achane being inactive for the Chargers game, when you have areas of your team that necessitates certain things, you have to go light on positions, and that's why Achane was inactive. Undrafted rookie back Chris Brooks, who has a large special team role, then Achane was active for Sunday's game. The Dolphins kept 7 corners active. All of them played, but only 4 of them played on defense. Of Achane not being active on the roster, McDaniel added, I am not expected that to be the norm. Players decide that, not me. Raheem Mostert, Savon Ahmed, and receiver Eric Izukama handled the non-quarterback rushing attempts on Sunday. So essentially what he's saying is the reason Devon Achane wasn't active is, again, he still had that nagging injury, and they kind of weighed the situation where they, Brooks not only can play running back, but he also is a big part of the special teams. So and then they wanted to have all those corners on the field because they were in some of the packages for Fangio and as well as special teams. So it's a thought process of, okay, well, if we want to push Devon Achane out there, even though he is banged up with a shoulder injury, then we have to take Brooks out, but then Brooks is a special team. You know what I'm saying? It's like you weigh the options. Asked why linebacker David Long Jr. played sparingly on Sunday, McDaniel cited the formula for the game. Andrew Van Ginkel played 51 snaps, whereas David Long Jr. played 17 snaps. That's all Vic Fangio. If we wanted to know the answer to that, we'd have to ask Vic Fangio, but that was all on Vic Fangio. In the wake of the Dolphins' defense being torched for 34 points and 234 rushing yards against the Chargers, McDaniel was asked where he wants to see improvement. There's a lot of people with right motivations that were trying independently to make plays and not thinking about technique and fundamentals. Interesting. That's interesting. So he's saying some guys were going rogue instead of just kind of doing doing your job. And again, I'm going to talk about this in a little bit, but a lot of people blame Vic Fangio for that. So McDaniel and River Craycraft, who made an opening day 53-man roster for the first time and caught his third NFL touchdown. He was cut 7 times before making an active roster. The fortitude to say, you guys are wrong and keep coming back. I had a lot of people tell me I can't do things. You have to be a special individual when you put that much on the table, and the moment comes and you're able to produce. He makes his teammates better around him. Craycraft did his thing. He did his thing. But yeah, so last thing I want to talk about is the defense, and I want to talk about Vic Fangio. Now, a lot of people are down and out on Vic Fangio. They started getting down and out on Vic Fangio against the Jaguars in preseason, and people are like, oh, is this the Vic Fangio we're expecting? This is a Vic Fangio that we are going to get, and we suck, and blah, 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 blah. Not realizing that, again, and this is what I'm hearing, and this is what was reported, they used about 50% of the playbook, because they're still implementing the playbook and they're still learning the playbook because, drumroll please, it's a new playbook. And all of these defenders are learning a new playbook, a new scheme, and all of that stuff. So again, I kept telling you, and I keep telling you, it takes about 4 weeks. That's not something I'm making up, and that's not a science that I'm inventing. That's literally, go ask Omar Kelly, go ask Alan Poupart, go ask Big O, go ask any Cameron Wolf, go ask any Barry Jackson, any beat writer, reporter, NFL analyst, NFL expert. How long would you give a new offense or defense before you start to be critical of it? They'll all say about 4 weeks, the first 4 weeks of the season. So obviously we have a problem stopping the run. Our pass defense wasn't as bad, but again, it didn't really get tested. Vic Fangio is the best defensive coordinator, if not one of the best defense coordinators in the NFL. He's going to make adjustments and he's going to make moves that need to be made. I predict that as the season goes on, this defense is going to get better. I predict by the bye week, we're going to have we're going to be around 16th with our defense. And I think it's going to start flowing. And I think once Jalen Ramsey comes back, it's going to be humming like a beautiful machine. It's just going to take a minute. He needs to put the pieces here. He needs to figure out, okay, why don't you do it all training camp? Because he was. Not only was he, okay, this person needs to go here and this person needs to go here. He also is like, who's going to make the team? And then he's also like, we need to add some players, Eli Apple. And let's see how this pans out. Again, 4 weeks. I will be down in Miami on October 8th. I'm landing on the 7th. That is the week where we'll know what this defense is capable of. You give them 4 weeks to try to get it situated, and then we'll know. But yeah. Comment below. Let me know what you think about Salty Tua. Let me know what you think about what Mike McDaniel had to say. There's some interesting things, right? Players might be added. Players might be traded for. Again, Jonathan Taylor is a situation that I don't think is going away. I think they're going to add some defensive tackle depth. There are 2 names out there that I'm really interested in, Dominican Sue and Keem Hicks. Things are going to be happening. So if things do happen, we'll make a video. If not, I'll see you tomorrow with the preview of the Dolphins taking on the Patriots in New England. Sunday Night Football, baby. But on that, like usual, stay classy. My friends out.